All right, here's a quick look at the XOSC oscillator. It's encompassing our XROC, our convergence, divergence, as well as our relative movement or strength of movement, and then also our volatility or expansion bands. So first things first, we have our gray lines here. These are our expansion bands. We have our magenta line here. This is the XROC. We have our green line, which is our convergence and divergence. And then we have our blue line, which is the relative momentum. All right, so how do you read it? Well, pretty simple. We have some lines on the chart. So we have our midline here, our 50 level here. This is the 50 level, and then we have some. And this is an oscillator developed between 0 and 100, so we have some expansion lines as well on the oscillator. So we have our 70 level, in a sense, 80, and then our 80 and 90 are extremes. So of course when the market gets to the yellow, orange, or red lines, it usually makes some type of pullback or reversal. The higher it gets, of course, more likely it's going to reverse. Same thing as it comes down to these levels here. So again, the oscillator is 0 through 100. So again, once it gets down near the bottom here, it's going to likely reverse. Doesn't mean it has to, of course, as the market can do whatever it wants, but you can see that it usually does. All right, so how do you read this? Well, first things first is that the XROC, which is the idea of the system, is when it's below the 50 line here. So when our magenta line is below the 50 line, we want to be selling. And most of the time, the best place to sell is once it comes through these expansion lines. So if it comes through the expansion, it's overextended and looking to possibly reverse. So as the XROC is moving down here, once the XROC starts to create some type of divergence with price and so forth, then you can see that the market kind of will try to make a turn or a bounce. So our relative momentum and our convergence divergence, when it's on the bottom side of the XROC, so when it's below the XROC here, the green and the blue line is as good places to sell or to hold on to your short. And when it climbs above, like in this situation here, when they come back above, you want to start looking for some counter trend reversal trade, possibly to get a bounce, a reversal, or even just a small pullbacks. So either way. We also have the convergence divergence. So when you see on the green line, you see divergence, the market moves up, it takes a smaller, a higher low. That actually makes for a nice reversal trade. So it's really good to see. We'll see them a lot on the green with the divergence convergence. Also with the relative momentum, it makes it easy to see like head and shoulder patterns with momentum. So you can see here, so a small head and shoulders pattern. So these are all great, as well as you can see on your relative momentum some divergence as well. So, and again, once it once the relative momentum goes outside the volatility expansion bands, that's when you want to start covering your position, trailing your stop, and because you're going to get some type of possible reversal or pullback once it does. So let's see if we can pull this down and show you a little bit more of the chart so you can see kind of how it functions. Don't worry about all our levels. I'm a level trader, so basically I look for levels to buy and sell off of, and so that's these lines up here, and we'll talk about that. Our bars are OHLC medians, so it's basically an average bar off of the OHLC. And so let's take a look real quick at what we got here. So you can see, like, when we cross over here, our market starts to move down, and we're underneath here. XROC clears the 50 line as well, so it continues to make downward moves. We get down near the volatility bands during the extremes, the orange levels down here, and we get some type of pullback here, and of course everything moves up. So again, as we said, you can look for some type of counter trend move when the blue and green come above the XROC here, and it comes out of the volatility band pretty quick. So you get very short-lived moved here. I mean, it's counter trend. Good for possibly if you had the market kind of make a pullback and then another punch up, that would be something to maybe take a trade on. You're not just taking trades because you have a green bar and the market goes above it. I don't know if that's a strategy at all. Maybe. But outside the volatility band here, and you can see you have convergence, divergence with the market double top here. So those are opportunities as well to take. We have down here again the convergence divergence indicator starting to show, and you get this little double bottom, and then it kind of grinds its way back up to the volatility bands as well on the price as on the chart. So most of the time you can see as the market kind of falls off, and this was end of day yesterday, so not the greatest time to be trading, but hey, it's volatile, so you can make some money. And then again, crossing below, now you see you have some divergence in the XROC as well. So this allows the market to come back above the XROC here, and you get that little pullback I was just talking about, and then an entry to go back in. So that would be nice because you have the main trend creating divergence, and so not just on the short term but on the longer term for the market. So that's a little bit how you read it, and we could probably go through some more for the day as it was, but it would be better to go through it with all the levels in place so you could see. So like this morning, Friday morning, we had some buy levels here that were in place. We had news, and look, it just goes sideways. Couldn't go up, couldn't go down, just went sideways inside that market. Could you make money here? Yeah, absolutely. You got double tops, double bottoms, and so forth. But beyond that, once the market started to move and we get the break below, and you can see the XROC was right at the 50 line, so it just goes sideways. So once it breaks down, then you have a couple options, and then you can see that the market got down here at the very bottom extremes down here, and whenever you have the market come outside the volatility band, then can't get back outside the volatility band on the second leg, those are good opportunities for a quick pullback, if not possible reversal. And then we had our divergence with our divergent convergent, and you can see that the momentum and the convergent divergent line is above the XROC, and this would be a good place to go long, and it went long. So kept above here. We got a couple legs up, and again we got outside these extremes again. It's another place where you can look to go short, and look, you got a couple legs short as well. So anyway, so just a really nice clean look now, and I hope it helps everybody trading.